What it do, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Axis of Combat podcast, episode 65. We're here to break down UFC Fight Night Tybura versus Spivac 2. Ugh. And the crowd goes mild. Woo! Like always, we're going to give you some picks. We're going to give you some bets. We're going to give you some predictions. But, let's cut to the chit-chat. It's your boy, Ray Boogie Kahuna, my co-host.
Hugo the boss. Hugo got next. You already know. And before we get into any of that hoopla, you already know the routine. Like, comment, subscribe, follow Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Everybody enjoying these visuals right now. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell to stay up to date.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, you already know.
First fight on the card at welterweight, we have left hand to God, Danny Barlow going one-on-one with not Uros Medic. He fell out with an injury. A debuting Nikolay. Oh, man. I promised I wasn't going to fuck this name up, but not. Veretennikov. I think I got that right. Barlow. Perfect. 8-0, fighting out of Tennessee. 29 years old.
Memphis, baby.
Nikolay. 12-4, fighting out of Kazakhstan. 34 years old. Exciting fight. You already know. I'm a big fan of left hand to God, Danny Barlow. Love everything about this guy. I am going to be picking him. I am going to be leaning him. Inside the distance, probably by KO. Just the long short of it, I think he's just, first of all, he's the bigger guy. He's going to be the faster guy. He's definitely the more athletic guy. I think the only spot where Nikolay could probably expose the wrestling and the grappling. I really haven't seen Barlow tested in that area too much. This fight is probably going to look a little similar to Barlow's last fight against Quinlan. Nikolay, I think he's okay. He's a bit of a plotter. He's not going to get out the way of Barlow. He's going to walk forward. He can slow down. This guy was on the Dana White Contender Series about 2 years ago. I think that was against Michael Morales, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think you're correct.
Lost that fight. I think this is it's going to be a banger. And I'm not saying Barlow can't get hit here, but I think Barlow is going to take care of business.
Yeah, I'm with you here. I think Barlow's the goods. I think Barlow's super talented. This is going to look a lot like, I think you mentioned, like the Quinlan fight. Nikolay kind of has a similar style, similar prodding style with how he approaches his fights. I just think Danny's going to find him, if not once or a couple of times, and just get him out of there. Quinlan got stopped in the third round. I'm not going to say third round. It might be sooner because Quinlan's just tough as fuck and he was on gear. Not for the fight, but in previous contests, he pissed hot. So yeah. I don't want to say steroids improves your chin. I don't want to make that assumption, but
there's only one way to find out, man.
There's only one way to find out. And Quinlan was a gorilla. So I'm going to say Barlow's going to get it done via knockout, but we'll see how it looks when the lines drop and where we can make some playable spots here. But Barlow's definitely the side here.
Next fight on the card at men's bantamweight, we have the ferocious Charalampos Grigoriou going one-on-one with the silent finisher Toshiomi Kazama. Charalampos, I think his first name is easier to say than his last name. 8-4, fighting out of Long Island, New York, repping Cyprus, 32 years old. Kazama, 10-4, fighting out of Japan, hailing from Japan, 27 years old.
I'm going to jump in. I'm going to say I have not done the proper research to have an opinion on this fight, so I'm definitely going to defer to my brother here. So what do you think, bro? And follow us on social media platforms, because throughout the week I'll be able to figure out more or less like where I stand with this fight. But my brother's already done the adequate research. But what you got for me, brother?
I'm going to lean Charalampos here as the pick. He has the striking edge. I trust his chin a little more. I think I trust his striking defense a little more. The only thing I worry about is if Kazama decides to maybe push a wrestling or a grappling kind of thing here, then it might get a little sweaty. I think KO is probably live for Grigoriou early. If not, I can see this fight going the distance. And I do think this fight is a little closer than the line does indicate. It can get to split decision. Again, it all depends on Kazama. Kazama is a guy who likes to strike, can mix in the grappling, but his striking is a little reckless. He'll rush in. He's been knocked out twice already by Nakamura.
Yeah.
And
Nakamura's a hammer, though, so.
Garrett Armfield.
Got hands.
Yeah.
He has hands.
Grigoriou, I think his last fight was against Ann Helliger. I know Ann Helliger was a dog in that fight. Lampos was, I think, probably a good live entry early. I think if he just would have implemented his leg kicks, could have got Ann Helliger out, but Ann Helliger, crafty veteran.
Dogged it out.
Was able to dog it out. And, if you played Ann Helliger, you cashed a decently big, ticket there. So, but I think if everything holds true, Grigoriou should get this one done. I'm going to lean Grigoriou here. Medium confidence.
Copy.
Next fight on the card at women's strawweight, we have the debuting Stephanie Luciano. Her nickname is Brazilian for Little Ronda. Going one-on-one with the problem child, Talita Alencar. Luciano is 5-1-1, fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 24 years old. Alencar 5-0-1, fighting out of Brazil. Actually, no, fighting out of Deerfield Beach, Florida, but hailing from Brazil, 33 years old. Run back from the Dana White Contender Series where they both fought against each other. Alencar came out hot. Striking isn't that good, but it's serviceable. What she really wants to do, because she's a multiple-time BJJ champ. Correct. She just wants to get you on the ground and do her jitsu. Luciano, on the other hand, she's decorated Muay Thai background.
Pretty linear battle here.
Pretty linear, but I am going to be leaning Luciano here because her submission defense held up pretty decently against Alencar the first time they fought. Watching that fight back, I also forgot that Luciano pretty much almost finished her, 10-8'd her in the last round.
Correct.
That fight ended up as a draw. Luciano hasn't fought since. Ugh. Luciano was also the one who won the contract, which in my brain, I was like, wow, we seen Alencar fight. In my head, I thought Alencar was the one who won that contract. It was actually Luciano who won that contract. Luciano is probably going to be the side here. They both went a full 15 with each other. She's super calm in the ring, composed, was getting the better of Alencar. Give me Luciano here, about medium confidence, probably by decision. I could see a third round finish though, low key.
Yeah, I'm with you here. I think Luciano should win this fight, but this fight, for all intensive purposes,
stupid. I'm not gonna let you get the chance.
I'm not. If I do bet this fight, I'm not picking a side. This is a fight you should probably stay away from. It's very dangerous to bet on a fight like this. Two very low level women in this game. Alencar has had UFC experience, but against Ryan Amanda, who is not very good, doesn't have an extensive record. Kind of did the same thing she did again in the Luciano fight too. Like, didn't really show vast improvements in her game. And Luciano hasn't fought since. This fight is a big fucking stay away. 1-800-GAMBLERS is the bet for this fight because many people will be betting on this fight. I think the third round is probably, it's live here. I would say that's a live bet because that's going to be plus money for sure. Women's MMA fight. I'm not sure where to go with this, but gun to the head, Luciano, because she did survive her onslaught of jiu-jitsu, and she's the far more competent striker, like far. Like, it's pretty one-sided there. So I'm in Luciano, but this fight scares the shit out of me.
Next fight on the card, it says women's featherweight, but I think the UFC has this listed as women's bantamweight. Yana Santos, Chelsea Chandler. Santos, 14-8, fighting out of St. Petersburg, Russia, 34 years old. Chelsea, fighting out of Stockton, California, 6-2 overall, 33 years old. I'm leaning Santos here. I know she's on a 3-fight losing streak. She's fought nothing but
killers,
the top of the crop in the 135 division, and I just trust her IQ. The thing is, her game plan kind of plays a little bit into what Chelsea kind of wants to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, she wants to hit you, bring her close so that she could, use her jitsu. She's not going to shoot for the takedown, right? But she's a Stockton girl.
Yeah.
You know how they don't use their jitsu unless they need to use their jitsu.
They're opportunistic grapplers.
Yes. So Santos, her game plan: push you against the cage, clinch work, beat you up, grind you out. if she can take you to the ground, beat you up from the top, that's what Santos wants to do. She does that in every fight. That being said, I would go Chelsea if I can trust, one, her IQ, two, I think she doesn't take hits very well. I mean, you see what happened. Norma Dumont pieced her up. She ran right across the ring.
Me for life.
My God. I mean, had a back and forth war with Josiana Nunes. I mean, and I don't think Josiana's like, tippity top.
No,
but
she did get it done in that fight.
She did get it done. I know Chelsea on top is very good.
Vicious.
Her jitsu's good. She's a vicious ground and pound. She hits hard. She's probably the more powerful of the two women. But give me Santos to kind of just grind her out and just be a little smarter in the octagon here. Not with the most confidence, but give me Santos probably by decision.
Yeah, this fight is going to be dictated by who can bully who. Yes, in my opinion.
Physicality is 100% the key in this fight.
I would like to see weigh-ins. I would like to see them on the scale, and I would like to see them face off before I give you like a particular bet for this fight.
Because if Chelsea can make weight, first of all, if this fight not even happen, because she's been open about like she hates cutting the fucking weight, but
I like her style though. I like what she does. I think the UFC has a good feeling about what they have with Chelsea Chandler. I feel like they're trying to fade Yana here a little bit, but I'm not optimistic about like Chelsea possibly bullying her around in this fight. I think Yana's experienced.
Yeah.
Yana knows how to win minutes.
This is a huge step down in my opinion as well compared to her last 3 fights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And like my brother said, her coming out of that Stockton, California gym, the Scrap Pack gym, she's gonna use her striking and use you pretty much overwhelm you with striking and then lead you into her grappling. I just don't know if she's gonna be able to keep Yana off of her. But this might be the true definition of a dog or pass spot. So I'm gonna lean Chelsea Chandler just because she's a dog. Like that's where I'm at. But gun to the head, I don't know. But I'm leaning Chelsea just to be on dog money for this fight. But if Yana bullies her around, would I be surprised? No. This fight might be a big fucking stay away for a lot of reasons. But we'll see closer to fight time where we lean.
Next fight on the prelims at heavyweight. Of course, we could not avoid the heavyweight fight, and we got a low-level one for you boys and girls. It is Karl Williams versus Jhonata Diniz. I think it's Jhonata? Diniz. I'm just going to call him Diniz. Williams is 10-1, fighting out of the Virgin Islands. Actually, no, repping the Virgin Islands, fighting out of Atlanta, Georgia, 34 years old. Diniz is perfect, 7-0, fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 33 years old. Extremely binary fight, in my opinion. This is striker versus grappler. Karl Williams debuted in the Contender Series and beat a guy who had a Penn State wrestling background. He did it easily. And I think he's had 3 fights since in the UFC. His last fight being against one of the Tafas. I think it was Justin Tafa.
Yeah, they switched, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, they switched
The
fights.
infamous Tafa switch.
That was a conspiracy, bro.
It might have been. But Williams was able to get it done. What I like about Williams is that he's athletic. He's got the football background, and, that could be a red flag, but his grappling is actually... is decent.
It's decent.
It's very decent. His takedowns, he'll blast double your ass from one side of the ring to the other. Powerful, explosive. His striking for a guy who started MMA not too long ago is actually it's pretty solid. Solid jab.
Serviceable.
Throws with some conviction. Decent 1-2. I think he's the side. And he's the justified side. The only issue with Karl Williams is if he tries to get a little cute here and stand with Diniz here. Because Diniz...
Thumbs.
Decorated kickboxer. Extensive kickboxing background. Also just got into MMA not too long ago. I know he's fought like the likes of like Rico Van Hooven. That's how you say his name.
And went the distance.
A couple of glory fights. This guy thumps. The only red flag I got here about this man is that in his last fight, in his debut fight, he fought Austin Lane. And Austin Lane shot a takedown on this man and controlled him for over 4 minutes. And this is fucking Austin Lane we're talking about.
Yeah, and for Diniz, this ain't fucking Austin Lane he's fighting.
No.
You want the real, they got it at minus Karl Williams is a surprising minus 238. I thought he'd be a minus 400.
If you asked me who called for this fight, it was 100% probably the Williams side. They were like, yeah, this is a guy we can beat.
And Diniz is crazy enough to fucking take it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like laying the juice like that. This might be one of those spots.
The only issue I got with Williams as well is that like he'll grind you out. He's one of those like recharge guys.
Yeah.
Like he'll look tired.
Yes.
But if you give him a bit, he'll explode back on you, right?
Yeah.
When he takes you down, he's not the greatest finisher.
Yeah, but you know what's the thing too though? We haven't seen Diniz in any of his fights pushed with the wrestling.
No.
And
except for Austin Lane.
Yeah, and the thing is, I not really. Like he kind of just held him.
Yeah, but he couldn't get up.
And Karl, you're telling me if Karl gets through 2 ankle picks, he wins this fight.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair, Austin Lane, humongous fucking human being, by the way.
Correct.
Williams used to fight at light heavyweight. He's kind of like one of these like more dynamic heavyweight guys, kind of like the same like
Pogue.
Yes, like Pogue and shit like that. Like, but he's good here. The weight don't bother him. He's taking down bigger guys. Technical wrestler. I like Williams a lot here.
Yeah, I think I'm surprised it's only minus 238. I don't like laying the juice like that. And the thing is, can you comfortably say he won't finish this guy? This guy, I think that needs his ass off his back. I really do. Yeah. I don't think he's got nothing for him off his back. So for me, it's like minus 238.
I mean, he's Brazilian. He might have some hidden jitsu, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
Like he just like summons jitsu out of him.
Maybe. I don't know. I
haven't seen it though.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And none of his fights have shown it. Austin Lane was able to control him. Austin Lane is fucking ass, bro. Yeah. I don't want to sound terrible.
And listen.
Good athlete.
He did shut, like second round started, Diniz did shut Austin Lane down. That man went down.
But Austin didn't really try to shoot on him. Austin was kind of fucking gassed.
Yeah, no, he was tired. He was tired as fuck.
Yeah, he didn't do shit on the floor.
He shut him down like Windows 98. Like,
dun, dun, dun,
and I'm talking about like it was an update. You know what I'm saying? Like 3 to 5 business days before my man landed on the ground. I was like, shit. This nigga was like, ooh. He just sank, bro. But Diniz did what he needs to do here. And if you like the Diniz side, KO is his only path to victory.
He's not winning decision.
He's not winning decision. Not with Karl Williams, who has shown the propensity to shoot often, and shoot in every round.
And fought better competition.
Yes.
Like by far. He's 100%. The more experienced guy here. He's fought the better brand of competition.
Yeah.
You could say Lucas Bresky, but at least Lucas Bresky is somewhat decent in getting to his feet after he gets wrestled down.
Yeah.
He's not terrible.
But he's able to chain him back down. That
correct.
Was like,
yeah.
You know,
he's
that's
filthy.
The thing, you know?
Yeah, he's good. I'm surprised it's only minus 238. Don't be surprised if I lay the juice on this. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't like playing minus 200s.
I think it's a decent parlay piece too. If you don't want to lay the super juice,
yeah, I think he's a for sure parlay piece.
As long as he's sitting around the minus 250 range, I like it.
Correct.
Next fight on the card at women's bantamweight, we have Rosa going 1-on-1 with Banzai. That sounds a little. I don't want to say. It sounds like some appropriation here, but I don't. Whatever. Pannie Kianzad. Rosa, 17-6, fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 29 years old. Kianzad, 16-8, repping Sweden, fighting out of Denmark, 32 years old. When I first seen this fight on paper, I initially was like, Karol Rosa. After doing some tape, I'm still Karol Rosa. But the confidence maybe waned just a bit. To Kianzad's credit, she's a good striker. She doesn't have the power to really threaten Rosa here. She does mix in grappling more than I remember. That being said, you can take her down fairly easily.
And hold her down.
You can hold her down. Karol Rosa is probably going to be the stronger of the two women. She is the younger. She is giving up some size and reach here. But Karol Rosa kind of reminds me of like she's the 135 version of, what's that girl's name? Jennifer Maia. You know, she's solid. She's a kind of a jack of all trades. She
good everywhere.
Her last fight against Aldana was a fucking war where she whooped Aldana's ass in the first round.
And then Aldana started putting fucking hands on her. I was sweating because I laid the juice on that fight for Aldana, and I'm glad I got it. But
excellent fight.
Karol showed me something in that fight. Like the thing is, the question is that like her at optimal performance? Is she gonna, if that version of her shows up again? I think she's going to fuck her up.
Yes.
I really do. I think she's going to fuck Pannie up. And I feel bad because I like Pannie. I have a friend that used to train with her. Shout out Hector. You already know.
Hey.
I just have a hard time. It's based on what I saw from that fight. Mm-hmm. If that version, even 80% of that version shows up, I think Pannie's going to have a long fucking night here.
Yeah.
Karol's the better wrestler. Karol's the better judoka. She's the better grappler.
She'll go to it, and she's shown to have gone to it too. She doesn't shy away from it. My only issue with Karol is sometimes she kind of just fights to the competition.
Correct. And that's where I'm at odds with this fight.
That's what kind of scares me a bit.
I'm at odds with this fight.
But Rosa, like again,
better skills,
and she'll come in with a game plan. She can take her down. She can mix it up. I like Rosa here. Not with as much confidence as I initially had, but I think Rosa does get it done here. Do I see a finish? Maybe fight ends in sub is a possibility, but I'm going to lean decision here.
Yeah, I'm with you on the decision. I feel bad for Pannie because this is one of the tougher fights in the top 15, in my opinion, for her. Like, it's not like a linear fight where she just has to kind of just worry about the takedown. She has to worry about everything with this girl.
And it's not like unwinnable for her if she just keeps her at distance and kind of just like picks her up. She can pick her apart with her boxing. It's winnable for her. But Karol Rosa is, I don't know, she's just a little more dynamic.
I agree.
And I like her, man.
I like her too.
Next fight on the card at men's featherweight, we have the machine gun Chepe Mariscal going one-on-one with the Leech Damon Jackson. I think, didn't he change his nickname to Action Jackson?
He's like the most boring motherfucker.
I don't think he's boring. He's just a little unorthodox.
Boring. Yeah, like he's just going to hug you. Action Jackson? He ain't no fucking Action Jackson.
Listen, his last fight, he was kind of throwing.
Yeah.
He was throwing and bowing. I'm saying, like,
listen, Biggie said it in his line. You know what I'm saying? That bar he had.
What he said?
On Raw nights, I perform like Mike. Any of them, Jordan, Jackson, Action. Was it? No, Jordan, Tyson, Jackson, Action.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Yeah. And when you get mentioned in the Biggie Smalls line, you got to show up.
Mortalized.
Yeah. Come on, bro. I'm just being real with you. I
don't know if Damon Jackson listens to rap. He don't look like the guy that listens to rap.
No, he looks like Walter Goggins, right? Like, that's very accurate. And, he got the big teeth and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, listen. Let me get the statisticals out the way. Chepe, 16-6, fighting out of Denver, Colorado, 31 years old. The Leech Jackson, 23-6-1, fighting out of Dallas, Texas, 36 years old. For all intents and purposes, this fight is probably going to be a banger. Chepe is a motherfucker. He is literally the definition of dog. His regional resume, extensive and impressive. He's fought a lot of UFC guys before he got to the UFC. I think he deserves to be in the UFC. Debuted against Peak, did his thing. His
upper weight class, by the way.
Upper weight class. His last fight against who's that French pirate's name? I know his nickname is like the pirate. French. Yeah, it's
not Jack Jenkins.
Morgan Charrier.
Morgan Charrier.
Yeah, the Jack Jenkins fight. I mean, Jack Jenkins ended up breaking his arm in that fight, I think, right?
Yep.
But in that Charrier fight, close fight.
Very close.
You can argue either or. Chepe did win that fight. I know. I still think what's his name? The French cat? Morgan, I think he did edge him out there, but I'm not mad at that Chepe. Because Chepe pushes a fucking pace.
Durable.
Chepe's in your fucking face. Durable. He could get caught in a sub here from Damon. The problem is he's fought decent grapplers. He's fought Bryce Mitchell. He's fought a lot of guys on the regional where I'm like, he throws his neck out there and it looks like you can get him, but he's just one of these fucking squirmy dudes that I'm not going to say sub isn't live. If you like Damon Jackson, it's probably going to be sub because I don't think he's going to win a decision with this guy.
And if you like Chepe, I think late. Second, third round.
I think Chepe is the side. Chepe probably inside the distance is probably going to be my play. Probably KO.
Yeah.
I just think he's more durable. He's got the pace. He's got the cardio. He's got the pressure. And Damon Jackson, I feel like it's like a mature dog versus an older mature dog.
Yeah.
Jackson's got the dog in him, but Jackson's old. I don't trust his chin as much as I used to.
I never trusted his chin.
And
there was no use to.
And if you push him, I don't trust his cardio.
His cardio's ass, man.
So for that reason alone, I think Mariscal is going to do his fucking thing here. I wouldn't be surprised at a guillotine upset by Jackson here, but Chepe's the side, probably inside the distance, probably KO. Banger of a fight. I like inside the distance, fight doesn't go, fucking run it up. Whenever these props drop, I'm going to be looking probably a little deep into this fight.
Second, third round, I'm on for Chepe. I think Chepe's just super underestimated.
He is.
At this level.
And he's giving up height and reach in this. Like, he's going to be the smaller guy.
The thing is, Damon's striking is not that good. I don't give a fuck what he's done in Turkey to his hair. I don't care. It's not going to work.
Turkey transplant powers?
Yeah, it ain't working. You still look like Goggins, and you're justifiably probably going to get knocked the fuck out in this
He's also
fight.
got that dog shit tattoo down his back.
Goodness
he looks
gracious.
like a fucking, he wants to be a Mustang so
There's no way he didn't get that drunk. There's no way.
God, it's such a whack
Someone
tattoo.
did that shit to him while he was
Two
drunk.
black lines, bro.
Fuck that guy. Whoever did that tattoo for him, fuck you. Like, I don't know who you are, but
He probably looked in the mirror and was like, perfection.
no. And by the way, like I said, I don't want to shit on the guy too much.
No, I think Damon is live for a sub here.
He's got skill, but I just think he's over the hill. I think this is a tough fight for him stylistically because of the pressure and like I said, he just hasn't really fixed his striking issues. He beat Alexander Hernandez, but Alexander Hernandez is the notorious. We've been talking about Biggie. This guy is the notorious bag fumbler.
Yeah.
Like, started off hot in that fight and then just fell off a cliff. Quarantillo, he lost to. Quarantillo's shot at this point. So if you're losing to Quarantillo,
we'll talk more about Quarantillo later.
and lost to Ige, but that was easy money. Remember they had Ige's knockout plus money?
God, it was great.
We smashed the shit out of that.
It was delicious.
Oh, yeah, like Kobayashi, you know what I'm saying?
And speaking of Ige was supposed to fight Chepe.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting pulled off of that so he can fight Diego Lopez.
Yes.
So-
And that was a way tougher fight for Chepe.
100%. It would have been a dog fight as well, though.
Yeah, I think Ige probably would have cleaned them.
Probably.
Low key.
Yeah.
Like, Ige's a motherfucker, bro.
Ige's like the evolved version of Chepe. Like,
Yeah.
If they were Pokemon. He's like the next level.
Which, by the way, Damon Jackson on a short camp, Chepe, late stoppage. I don't, Damon Jackson doesn't have cardio on a full camp. Short camp? Pack him up. Matter of fact, hold on. What the fuck is Tank at?
Pack him up.
They would have been packing them up.
100%.
Next fight on the card at men's flyweight, we have, this is probably going to be an intense fight. A fight that I still have trouble kind of picking a side here, but we got Puro Uso, Allan Nascimento going one-on-one with the pastor, Jafel Filho. Nascimento, 20-6, fighting out of Sao Paulo, Brazil, 32 years old. Jafel, the pastor, 16-3, fighting out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, 31 years old. Judo box versus Nova União, two popular camps in Brazil, two decent fighters. I go back and forth because I think this is very good matchmaking. Nascimento, I give the grappling edge to. Jafel, I give the striking edge to. At this moment, I'm gonna lean Allan I'm gonna pick Allan. Super low confidence though, because I think this is pretty much a 50-50 fight. This could be dog or pass, depending on how you want to play it.
Yeah.
But in terms of a pick, I'm gonna lean Nascimento, and it's only because I think if the fight stays standing, Jafel is probably live for a finish. Nascimento is not that comfortable on the feet. Doesn't have the best boxing. His kicks are pretty decent though. But Jafel, I give him the edge there. He's got the power. My only issue is that if Jafel decides to play around in the jiu-jitsu department, which he can and is shown to do sometimes, Nascimento is just wicked, man. He's a wicked dude. I know the only fight that he's lost in the UFC was against Tigir.
But no shame in that.
No shame in that. They said it was a split decision, and I think it was only a split decision because the amount of fucking subs that he had Tigir in. Tigir,
that was a wild fucking fight.
Khabib was sweating in that corner for his boy, low key. I mean, It's tough. It's tough. Like, I want to lean Jafel because I do think he's going to be the one, if they're on the ground, he'll be a little more active with the damage. On the feet, he's going to be definitely a little more active with the damage. But Nascimento, his control, the way he's able to take backs.
Fight ends in sub is a good play here.
It's
You're not
tough.
wrong.
It's tough.
And I know Nascimento's never been subbed.
Jafel's been subbed twice.
Twice by Makayev and by someone in the regional scene. And it's because he kind of does put himself in compromising positions, especially when he gets tired into the fight.
If he keeps it standing, he could win. But if he plays around,
yeah, Nascimento might get his ass.
yeah, he's a strong dude too. It's tough, man. I like this fight a lot. It's going to be a very
Great matchmaking.
technical chess match. I think.
Probably the best fight on the card.
Probably from a technical standpoint, maybe not from a fan standpoint, but they might boo this fight depending on the amount of grappling. But I'm gonna lean Nascimento, not with the most confidence. I might flip to Jafel depending on what lines come out. I'm definitely gonna be like, line shopping on this one for sure. But for a pick, low confidence, Nascimento.
I'm gonna go Nascimento too, just simply on the fact that Nascimento's the bigger guy. And sometimes when you have two guys with like elite skill on the floor like this, you got to go with the bigger guy to win the exchanges. I think it's going to hit the floor. I think Nascimento will get it there. But I tell you what, I'll lean it, but the bet might be Jafel because at plus 180,
yeah,
I think,
too wide, I think
it's fucking wide as hell, especially if he's the thumper on the feet. He hits harder. And he will force the action. So for me, I'm going to lean Nascimento as well, but man, don't be surprised if I make a dog play on Filho, especially if this line gets wider. Especially if he touches 200, I'll put half a unit on it. Because this fight very well can line in his hands.
Maybe even split decision is probably live here. I could see that like all day.
Yeah, this fight's probably...
If it goes the distance, it's probably more than likely about to hit on this one.
Great fight.
Next fight on the card at men's featherweight, we have Jarno Edens going one-on-one with the Moroccan devil Youssef Zalal. Edens, 14-5-1, fighting out of Holland, repping the Netherlands, 29 years old. Zalal, 14-5-1, fighting out of Denver, Colorado, repping Morocco, 27 years old. This fight, I'm going to say it's probably going to go to distance. I don't think anybody's going to finish anybody here. Zalal, a guy that I kind of underestimated a little bit. High IQ, smart fighter, a bit of a safe fighter, low volume, which doesn't really help him. But Edens,
creative striker. I'll go there. Creative striker.
He hits hard. He's also low volume as well.
Low volume. Not his last fight. His last fight was his best showing.
Yeah, but
he went after it. His
last fight, first of all, we made money on that last fight. Second of all, it was against that Nguyen guy who I knew was a fucking bum.
He's a bum. He's ass.
Man, that was easy.
Horrible fighter. Horrible fighter.
Edens is gonna have the power here. Edens, probably the more creative striker. I agree with you. Can be taken down here, and I think that's gonna be the Achilles heel here.
Yeah, because Allow can strike too. Like, let's not get it fucked up. But and he Zalal's a better all around fighter here.
Yes,
no question. He can wrestle, he can grapple,
and I think that's gonna be the key for Zalal here. Does Zalal finish him? I don't know. He hasn't finished anybody until recently. He got cut. He came back. He fought Billy Q.
Billy Q's washed, though.
Billy Q is washed, but he got his finish.
Correct.
He's also dating Macy Barber, so he's got some of that Barber power coming through. And then he's a new man, you know what I'm saying? So I like Zalal here. I'm going to pick Zalal. I think Zalal's the side.
By decision.
Medium confidence. By decision is probably the way I'm going to lean for this one.
If he finishes Jarno Edens, I'd be very surprised.
Edens is a tough dude. Edens be putting himself into some situations that I'm like, bro, I mean, the IQ is what I kind of question a little bit on Edens a bit.
Yeah, I'm leaning Zalal for all the reasons you mentioned, though. Like, I think the wrestling's going to be the X factor here, and I think he's going to get this fight to the floor and be able to control Edens. Even though Edens does have a good back, he's good off his back. I think Zalal is like, dude, he's fought the who's who and not been finished. He fought Topuria, didn't get finished. Got slammed on his head, didn't get finished.
Yeah,
like he's fought good fucking guys, and they could not finish him.
No,
so I think Zalal by decision here.
Next fight on the card at men's bantamweight, we have Javid, the Snow Leopard Basharat, going one-on-one with El Guapo, Chris Gutierrez.
Snow Leopard's a badass nickname.
Snow Leopard's not that bad, actually. It's okay. It's on the upper echelon, upper tier.
Yeah.
It's mid tier, upper tier. It's not high tier, but it's all right. Basharat 14-1, fighting out of England, repping Afghanistan, 28 years old. El Guapo is 25-2, fighting out of Denver, Colorado, 33 years old. This is a shit or get off the pot kind of fight for both fighters here. I'll start with Basharat. He is one of two brothers. He is, in my opinion, the whacker brother. I think Fareed is better. Fareed fights at 125. This fight is at 135.
Yep.
Javid is a little more of the cocky one. He's a little more of the abrasive one. He fought Victor Henry. Swears up and down that he never low blowed that man.
Lost to a guy that's inactive.
Fought a guy who he should have beat.
He should have beat him.
But to Ayman Zahabi's credit, he did his fucking thing. He dropped the first round. Those last two rounds were close, but I do edge for Ayman. Ayman did hit him with the harder shit.
I agree.
Was able to, keep his striking defense up, stuff a lot of his takedowns, which is a big part of Basharat's game here too. I essentially see him as on a 2-fight losing streak here. I know the Victor Henry thing was a draw or no contest, but I think Basharat turns it around here. Chris Gutierrez is another guy who the UFC I think were initially high on. They still might be pretty decently high on him. I know they try to give him Pedro Munoz. I was gonna say Johnny Munoz. Pedro Munoz. That was supposed to be his big come out party.
And he fumbled the bag.
Fumbled the bag big time. Because I think that was a winnable fight for him. Gutierrez has got solid takedown defense. But I do think Basharat is going to be able to get the takedowns down on this guy.
Yeah, Basharat's got very creative takedowns from the clinch, inside trips, knows how to get to your back, knows how to ride you to put you on all fours. This is a tough fight for Gutierrez, in my opinion. Gutierrez he's got to show up in this fight.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of his fight or a lot of his strategy is pretty much predicated around his leg kicks. If he can get his leg kicks going, it sets everything else up for him. It sets up his boxing. It sets up his jiu-jitsu, his grappling.
Correct.
Basharat is I'll give him this. He's a high IQ guy, just like his brother. Smart fighter, can mix it up very well. Give me Basharat probably by decision here. It's unfortunate because Gutierrez is not that he got exposed by Song Yadong, but it showed when he fought Song Yadong, there was levels.
He's limited.
He wasn't ready for it.
He's a limited fighter. I mean, he got exposed in the Pedro Munoz fight. We made money on the Young Dong fight too. Remember that shit?
Yeah, we bet Yadong.
That was easy money.
He got taken down there, but it was Yadong. He also got taken down by Alatang Lee, where there was a fight that he was winning, but that third round kind of took his foot off the gas there, and Alatang was able to get his wrestling going and do his thing.
Not the best look.
Not the best look. I think Basharat is aside here. I think decision.
Gutierrez is hard to put away.
Technical fight, but yeah, Gutierrez is a tough dude.
Yeah, other problem and Gutierrez, another reason he likes to play off his back. Once he gets taken down, he likes to play off his back. He kind of concedes the takedown after a while, especially if you're spamming him.
He likes to do that thing that I don't like, where he'll drop for a leg lock.
Oh yeah, he's one of those guys.
I don't like that shit.
Yeah, he's not in MMA. You lose points. I mean, you lose minutes.
You lose position.
Yeah,
unless you're a god at it.
Yeah, like you're like a Gordon Ryan, right? But
just don't do that. If he does that against Basharat is going to just jump on top of him
and lay on him.
Yeah,
and then out wrestle him because I think he is the better wrestler too. He's also younger, so I think it's a tough fight for Gutierrez, man. Give me Basharat by decision for all the reasons we just listed.
Main event at heavyweight. Ooh. What a banger of a heavyweight fight here. We got Marcin Tybura going one-on-one with the polar bear, Serghei Spivac. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, a run back from a fight 4 years ago.
The run back nobody asked for.
The run back no one asked for. Tybura, 25-8, fighting out of Poland, hailing from Poland, 38 years old. Spivac, 16-4. Fighting out of Moldova, repping Moldova, 29 years old. Now, when they fought the first time, like I said, 4 years ago, the odds were literally a pick'em. I think this was Spivac's second or third fight in the UFC. Tybura, got legs in the game. He did what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? He took him down. George Michaels the shit out of him. Hit him with some sweet, old ground and pound love. Straight to a decision. I think it's Spivac's only decision loss on his record. 4 years later, they say, you know what? We enjoyed that shit. let's fucking run it back.
Well, it makes sense with the rankings and everything going on at heavyweight. It's just as a main event. Oh my, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh brother,
Cue it up.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
This fight stinks.
shit. And yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a better fight than the last one.
I hope
because
so.
both boys have made improvements, in my opinion.
Yes. Tybura on a bit of a upswing, a bit of a resurgence here. Spivac
Coming off a loss that he had a while ago.
coming off a loss again to Cyril Gane, but coming off a loss, a little bit on the downtick a bit, but he has grown into his body.
Yes.
When they fought the first time, he was like around 230. My man Spivac is like sitting comfortably like almost at 260 right now, like full grown man body right now. He is the younger guy. They both, I think, at the same height, same reach. Spivac, in their first fight, did have the better boxing. Tybura, better footwork, and his kicking was better. The difference in that fight was the physicality, in my opinion, where Tybura was able to
Muscle him down,
push him against the cage, take him down. Will it play out this way again? I don't know. The fight the first time was a pick'em. The fight right now is a fucking pick'em. Definition of dog or pass. I think I want to lean Spivac here because of all the attributes. He's younger. He's grown into his body more. I don't think he's going to get bullied around. I still think he's the better boxer. He did freeze in the fucking spotlight against Gane. He looked fucking extremely terrible.
I was just gonna go there, and I think that's a big part of this because they're fighting in the Apex. He's not really gonna have a big crowd there. I think this is gonna be
Smaller cage helps.
Yeah, it's gonna help him. I think he's gonna push the wrestling. He didn't lose to Cyril. I think he kind of gave the fight away to Cyril. I don't think Cyril beat him.
I don't think he ever showed up.
I don't think he showed up. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that arena in France was fucking loud.
It's intense, yeah.
He got shook up. I don't think he was expecting it to be that intense. Cyril's very light on his feet. Tybura's not. But if you look at every fight for Spivac up until that point, kind of getting his way with the wrestling.
Yeah.
Against and he moved around Derek Lewis, like moved him around.
Yeah.
And Derek's a big guy and not the best wrestler, but can wrestle. So I gotta go Spivac here for the wrestling. I do. I'm not. I don't know if I'm gonna bet this fight, but if you're asking me, I think it's gonna be Spivac that I would pick.
For me, it's tough because Tybura in his last fight, I mean, looks better than ever in my opinion. His striking looks pretty decent. It was against Tai Tuivasa. He was able to take down Tai.
Tai's just ass.
Which is not like, you know, it's not like a feather in the cap. Oh, I took down Tai Tuivasa. Like, you know, my grandmother could probably take down Tai Tuivasa, but
correct.
But he was able to sub Tai Tuivasa, which, you know, feather in his cap for that. Tybura has been looking decent, you know, so maybe speed might be a difference here. Tybura, you know, never really been the most nimble guy with his hands.
No.
His better footwork than I give him credit for, but I'm going to lean Spivac here. Low confidence, probably dog or pass, but...
Agreed.
Does it go the distance?
I don't know. I would love to see what he over set at. If it's over at 1.5, I don't think it's a bad play.
I probably would like to look at weigh-ins too, because if Spivac is coming in heavy, but like...
Jacked,
you know, a little more confident. This is another one, you know, Tybura, I mean, he had that Fifth Element haircut that kind of helped him out a little bit. It gave him like extra cool points, you know what I'm saying?
Not against fucking Tom Aspinall.
That Gary Oldman fucking haircut.
Yeah. Not against Tom Aspinall.
Not against Tom, though.
Tom sent him to hell.
Tom packed him up.
Yeah.
But I think Spivac also got picked up by Tom as well. So
did he really?
I think so. I mean, I think they have very common opponents.
He got packed up by...
He did get packed up by Tom Aspinall. First round, elbows.
God. That's terrible. This fight's very scary to bet on.
Give me Spivac, just low confidence.
Low confidence. Agreed. 100%.
And that does it, ladies and gentlemen. UFC Fight Night, Vegas 95, however you want to fucking call it. Top to bottom, we broke down every fight, gave you some previews, gave you some picks, predictions, bets. But enough is enough. My brother, take us home. I'm done with this shit. Let's go. Let's go home.
You already know the routine. Like, comment, subscribe, follow Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
If you're enjoying these visuals right now, don't forget to like, please comment, please subscribe, and please hit that notification bell if you do subscribe to stay up to date.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, you already know. Love you guys. So episode 65 of the book. Sorry, it was hard for me to get it out because this main event is rough.
Woo!
The card, there's some decent fights in this card, but
Some sleeper fights here, but man, this card is
it's rough.
definition of mid.
Yeah, this is a fight card. If you're advising, if you're asking me as a casual fan, hey, should I miss this card? I don't think you should miss any card. But
Hey, listen, the preseason is starting for NFL.
there's a lot of other good shit to watch. So
I'm not going to necessarily hate you if you miss this card.
no. But follow us on social media platforms for the bets.
Of course.
Because we're going to be very careful with this card. I think this card requires some kids' gloves. So we got love for you guys. Show us some love. Everything's free $99. You already know. Love you guys. Holla at you guys. See you for episode 66 next week. Holla at you. Love you.